manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
Bless and praise the Most High for that, from the law, statutes, and commandments coming out. That we read every Shabbat. That we put on our heart to make sure that we are on the right path with the Most High, and that we're doing what's right. If we could go to the book of Enoch, chapter 39. Today's lesson, we're just going to go into the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts. You know, the Lord of hosts, we always hear the word, we see that term is being used, like what's the Lord of hosts, what's their operation, you know, what are they doing in accordance to the Most High? What is a host? You know? So if we could get that definition in the Strong's for host.
This is the definition. The word is tabah. Definition: army, war, warfare.
So the Most High's hosts, these are armies in the heavens. You know, let's get some. What have some of you heard when it comes to angels? What's the operations of an angel when it comes to your mind? And don't feel bad if you feel like you don't have a good answer. You know, what's some of the things you heard about when it comes to angels? When someone tells you, yeah, angel, what do you think of? Anybody?
Like a protector, somebody that watches over you.
Khan. That's a good one. Anybody else?
Angelic being.
Angelic being. Get some more of those definitions, those words in that concordance.
Army, battle, combat, conflict, forced to labor, hardship, host is the army, most, service, struggle, train, war and warfare.
War and warfare, and we see that. Just look how much on every level the most powerful things in this earth that the so-called world leaders use and kind of twist what the Most High got. So the Most High has the army. He has the righteous army, the angels and army, right? But people don't know this because they don't know. You know, most don't know the Most High is coming to bring destruction on earth. That's what Christ's coming to do, and then clean it up when you go into this word. And so let's go. Let's start at from the top of Enoch chapter 39.
This is the book of Enoch, chapter 39, verse 1. And it shall come to pass in those days that elect and holy children will descend from the high heaven, and their seed will become one with the children of men.
So when they say that, you know, the different doctrines that's not in agreement with like Genesis chapter 6 and how the giants came through, you know, clear as day. So these angels that fell, the ones that fell with Lucifer, and we're gonna get some of that, you know, these are ones that rebelled against the Most High, where you see all those giant statues all throughout Egypt and all that land, right? Finish reading.
And in those days Enoch received books of zeal and wrath, and books of disquiet and expulsion,
Mm-hmm.
and mercy shall not be accorded to them, saith the Lord of spirits.
So they don't have no mercy from the Most High. And that's like when the past lessons we brought forth, like those that are chained and awaiting judgment, right? And we see that the Most High has a judgment prepared for them, and they're not going to get no mercy. So these things weren't made for us, you know, eternal damnation. Like we want to make sure that we right with the Most High, the Lord of hosts. Finish reading.
In those days a whirlwind carried me off from the earth,
Mm-hmm.
and set me down at the end of the heavens. And there I saw another vision, the dwelling places of the holy, and the resting places of the righteous. Here my eyes saw their dwellings with his righteous angels,
Mm-hmm.
and their resting places with the holy.
So he's having a vision, right? Uh-huh.
And they petitioned and interceded and prayed for the children of men, and righteousness followed before them as water,
Mm-hmm.
and mercy like dew upon the earth. Thus it is amongst them forever and ever. And in that place my eyes saw the elect ones of righteousness and of faith, and I saw his dwelling place under the wings of the Lord of spirits.
Mm.
And the righteousness shall prevail in his days, and the righteous and elect shall be without number before him forever and ever.
Remember that? As the sand of the sea, the children of Israel can't be measured or numbered, and how much people would, you know, is gonna be before the Most High and worshiping Him. Finish reading.
And all the righteous and elect before him shall be strong and fiercely lights.
Is it loud? It's not loud. He probably just went back to it. Go ahead.
And their mouths shall be filled of blessings, and their lips extol the name of the Lord of spirits, and righteousness before him shall never fail, and uprightness shall never fail before him. There I wish to dwell in my spirit, or long for that dwelling place.
Mm-hmm.
And there heretofore hath been my portion. For so has it been established concerning me before the Lord of spirits. In those days I praised and extolled the name of the Lord of spirits with blessing and praises, because he hath disdained me for blessings and glory according to the good pleasures of the Lord of spirits.
So all spirits belong to the Most High, right? He got control over all of this. So that's why there's no warning against the Most High, like the leaders of this earth think that they can do. You know, people hear this and just think it's just, don't you see people passing away? Don't you see it's a bigger control than just the culture of entertainment? Can't you see it's more than, you know, just CNN that these people are reading off of a screen? Like, can't you see that it's just a bigger understanding to this world, and people don't really want it. Just gonna pass away with no knowledge and just think that oh, he just loved me. So can't despise this knowledge of the Most High. Finish reading.
For a long time my eyes regarded that place, and I blessed him, and praised him, saying, Blessed is he, and may he be blessed from the beginning and forevermore.
Mm-hmm.
And before him there is a chasing. He knows before the world has created what is forever and what will be from generation unto generation.
Uh-huh.
Those who sleep not bless thee. They stand before thy glory and bless, praise, and extol, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of spirits that filleth the earth with spirits.
Mm.
And here my eyes saw all those who slept not. They stand before him and bless and say, Blessed be thou, and blessed be the name of the Lord forever and ever. And my face was changed, for I could no longer behold.
Same thing like Moses, same thing like Ezekiel. You know, when they're dealing with the Most High, they can't just, you know, that glory just shining. They can't really deal with it like that, all that power. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 6. Let's start from the top.
This is the book of 2 Kings, chapter 6, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And the sons of the prophets said unto Elijah, Behold now, the place where we dwell with thee is too strait for us. Let us go, we pray thee, unto Jordan, and take thence every man a beam, and let us make us a place there where we will dwell. And he answered, Go ye. And one said, Be content, I pray thee, and go with thy servant. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to Jordan, they cut down wood. But as one was felling a beam, the axe head fell unto the water. And he cried and said, Alas, master, for it was borrowed. And the man of God said, Where fell it? And he showed him the place. And he cut down a stick and cast it in the thither, and the iron did swim. Wherefore said he, Take it up to thee. And he put out his hand and took it. Then the king of Syria warred against Israel,
Mm-hmm.
and took counsel with his servants, saying, In such and such a place shall be my camp. And the man of God sent unto the king of Israel, saying, Beware that thou pass not such a place, for thither the Syrians are come down.
Mm-hmm.
And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him and warned him of, and saved himself there, not once nor twice. Wherefore the heart of the king of Syria was sore troubled for this thing. And he called his servant, and he said unto them, Will ye not show me which of us is for the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king, but Elisha, the prophet that is in Israel, telleth the king of Israel the words that thou speakest in thy bedchamber.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Go and spy there Go and spy where he is, that I may send and fetch him. And it was told him, saying, Behold, he is in Dathan.
Go get him. He's saying, go get him.
Therefore sent he thither horses and chariots and a great host. And they came by night and compassed the city about.
So they're going to go. They think they're going to come up against a righteous man of the Most High that's dealing with prophecy from the Most High, right? But this is what happened next. Finish reading.
And when the servant of the man of God was risen early and gone forth, behold, and host compassed the city, both with horses and chariots. And his servant said unto him, Alas, my master, how shall we do? And he answered, Fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
So, what's going on here? That same army, when he's talking about the host, you know, the Most High got things around protecting the people. You know, really, how could you have made it this far, you know, without protection? It's not just all in your mind. You just been maneuvering because you're so smart, or you read a lot of books, or just, it's not just by your own doing. So that's why when people panic and all these things, you don't really need to panic if you're just doing what's right with the Most High. It might not get put together right when you want it to, but you know it's going to happen on the Most High's time. You just got to wait, see it through, and then you're going to feel like, man, how could I doubt? How could I doubt? When has he ever really forsaken me? Even when I wasn't serving him, when I was doing wrong. Right? Let's keep it going. Let's go up 1 Kings 22 and 12. We'll go to 1 Kings. Why would you doubt? I mean, hey, if you believe in this, what on this earth could really hurt you? Really, it's just pain, you know. You might go through some pain. It's temporary, it's just some pain. But why give up? A lot of people give up because they don't got no faith. Remember, it say with no faith, you can't please the Most High. You gotta have your faith. What can you give someone that got everything, that created everything? What can you give him? Does anybody know what the word say you can give him? What can you give the Most High? What can you give the Most High? What does he require? Anybody? Commandments. It's obedience, right? And that's doing the commandments. Remember, he told Saul obedience. The Most High rather have obedience. So let's bring that out. Let's go to 22 and 12. Let's start it there.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 22, verse 12. And all the prophets prophesied so, saying, Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it unto the king's hand. And the messenger that was gone to call Malachah spake unto him, saying, Behold now the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Malachah said, As the Lord liveth, what the Lord saith unto me, that will I speak.
I'm going to speak what the Lord say.
So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Malachi, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, Go and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it unto the hand of the king.
Mm-hmm.
And the king said unto him, How many times shall I adjure thee, that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills as sheep that have not a shepherd.
So they know this a righteous man of the Most High, and he's trying to keep it real with them, basically, right? But people don't want to hear that. No, we're not trying to hear this. It's the same thing like we were saying last Shabbat. Same people. Finish reading.
And the Lord said, These have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace.
Uh-huh.
And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat,
Mm-hmm.
Did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me,
Always prophesying bad things concerning me, but you doing wrong. Uh-huh.
but evil? And he said, Hear thou, therefore, the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne.
So the Most High, he said, I had visions of seeing him sitting on his throne, and what?
And all the host of heaven standing by him.
The Lord of hosts, right? So you see the host, the armies, right? The armies in heaven. Like it says, go to Revelation 19. Let's start at verse, let's just hit it. Let's start at 13. Let's start at, let's just get 14. Let's just hit it.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 19, verse 14. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean.
Those same armies, the Lord of hosts. Let's go back. Use it verse 20, or verse 19. 1 Kings 22 and 19.
1 Kings 22, picking up at 19. And he said, Hear thou, therefore, the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, Who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this matter, and the other said on that matter.
Who's gonna go persuade Ahab? Uh-huh.
And there came forth a spirit and stood before the Lord and said, I will persuade him. And the Lord said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so.
Mm-hmm. So these spirits, we see how they operate, right? Leading, it's all just for the Most High's gain. You know, the Most High is directing it all. So that's why we always say time and time again, we don't really get, a lot of people send videos, not saying nothing wrong with it, but just what's going on in the world, and why, it's just going to keep twisting you up. We know the end game, we know what they're trying to do, and whatever they're planning, it's only one way. There's only one way to really preserve yourself. You can't just, you just need the Most High, period. You need the God of Israel, you need the God of this Bible, the God of prophecy, the God who created the heavens and earth to lead you to the truth. And he's the Lord of hosts. So these spirits that he's sending to maneuver all this. That's why if it was up to them, plans would be moving smoothly, but it's not, right? You don't know what the Most High is really stirring up. You know the end game. You know the end game. Go to Hebrews chapter 13. You don't know what type of angelic beings the Most High might be sending in his functionings throughout the earth. Let's get 13:1. You know, so it's just no counsel really against the Most High. He knows and sees all, and he just sitting on the throne. He got spirits to do it, so we gotta do our own investigation in the world, right? When you're trying to get some information or something, for him, he just send the spirit, just goes, I know what I created. Operating from a different point, operating out of creation. You know, the creator that's doing creation. All these things was made for him. You know, it's just, who could know the mind of the Most High, like the word say, right? Bring that out.
The book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. Let brotherly love continue.
Mm-hmm.
Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for whereby some have entertained angels unaware.
Some people don't know they was dealing with angels, you know. Some people, I seen a man one time just pour some water on a homeless lady, and I was like, man, why are you doing that? And it was like, he's like, oh man, like he got caught. And you know, you don't know what the Most High got going, so you gotta definitely treat people accordingly, right? Let's go John chapter 3. She was asleep, by the way. You know, the lady was just asleep, minding her business on the street. You could have gave her something else. You could have gave her $1 instead. You could have gave her something good. You gave her something bad, right? But you know, Most High forgives all sins. Let's go to 3. Let's start at verse 12.
The book of St. John chapter 3 verse 12. If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
How you gonna believe? And some people, man, I don't want to hear all that fairy tale. This. Well, what do you think? You think this world is just made for people to just be born and go to the dirt, and that's the end? You gotta know it's a story behind this big world. Everything else don't make sense. Everything else really don't make sense. You gotta know it's an end game to all this. You gotta know the Lord of hosts got functionings going on. Let's go 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Some may not get it, you know, some just won't get it. The kingdom only for a few. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Let's start at verse 9.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, either have entered into the heart of man.
So the things that the Most High is preparing, finish reading.
The things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him.
So we got something that's bigger than what this world can offer prepared for us. And how do we love the Most High, family?
Obedience.
Con. You know, one and the same. Like that's what it's about. Finish reading.
But the Most High hath revealed himself unto us by his Spirit. For the Spirit searcheth all things, yea, the deep things of the Most High.
So your spirit is connected to this truth. Your spirit is connected to seeking the knowledge of the Most High. Some people's spirit's not connected to that. They're connected to the world. They're not connected spiritually. They're not connected to the Most High. That's why what's that? Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1. What we're reading right here in 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Think about it. If you in your spirit, what he say? You must worship him in spirit and in truth. So in some people's spirit, they just want to get the information on a carnal level, right? Well, let it make sense to me. They're not, you know what? They don't even know where to start. Because their spirit is attached to the world. It's not attached to what's the first thing that's beginning of knowledge? What? The fear of the Lord. So if they had a fear of the Lord, they'd be worried about, man, what's going to happen to me when I'm up out of here? What's going to happen to my children? What's going to happen? Like, am I going to be okay? What's going on? Or are you just, man, I don't care. It's just going to be lights out, and I'm not going to remember nothing. But the Most High got something to say about that. Go to 2nd Esdras chapter 9. No, he got something to say about that. Let's go, let's start at verse 10. 2nd Esdras 9 and 10 through 13.
You said
2nd Esdras chapter 9. 9, no problem.
yeah, which verse?
Chapter 10. Chapter 9, verse 10.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9 and verse 10. For such as in their life have received benefits
So, a lot of people have received benefits in their life,
and have not known me,
but they haven't known them. So they say, well, I'm good. I mean, what about the blessings? Look, I'm blessed, right?
and they that have oweth the law,
So they loathe the Most High's law,
while they had yet liberty,
So they were just scorning. They didn't care about the Most High's law, and they had liberty, right? They had liberty,
and when as yet place the repentance was open unto them,
When as yet place of repentance was open, so they had chance of repentance,
understood not,
So they understood not.
but despised it.
So they say, man, I'm cool off. I don't need no repentance. I'm good. What I've been doing all my life is good.
The same must know it after death by pain.
So pain is coming. Pain is coming. And think about eternal pain. If we don't even like pain in the flesh in this world, think about pain for eternity. Think about pain for eternity. Think about people that just think, that don't even consider. Well, I see you changing, like, all right, well, okay, I see you into that stuff, man. Okay, it must be serious. Let me check that out. But why? No fear of the Lord. No fear of the Lord of hosts. Finish reading.
And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished,
Don't even worry about them, but what?
but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, who the world is, and for whom the world is created.
So this world is going to be made for the righteous. It was like that from the beginning, Adam and Eve, right before the fall of man. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians. Let's start at first. We were at 10, so let's go to 11. Chapter 2.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. For what man knoweth the things of a man, save the spirit of man which is in him? Even so, the things of the Most High knoweth no man, but the Spirit of God. Now we have received not the spirit of the world.
So, check that out. There's a spirit that come with the world. I don't know, family. We always bring up examples just so you don't think, man, I'm crazy. I don't want to think like that. I don't care. When I'm on that phone and I see what's going on in the world, it's like, man, what's going on? It's like people just not, well, maybe I'm just getting older, but people just not the same no more. Stuff they care about, the thing that entertain them, the things they laugh about, the things they care about. You know, it's just how did it happen so fast, it seemed like. And this is going faster and faster, right? You haven't received the spirit of the world. Finish reading.
But the Spirit which is of God,
Mm-hmm.
that we might know the things that are freely given to us of God.
So it's free. It's free if you really want it, right? If you doing what he wants, if you doing what he say, read.
Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth,
Mm-hmm.
comparing spiritual things with spiritual. But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerning.
So they can't know the Most High, right? They can't know the Most High. So when you telling them about the Lord of Hosts and the angelic beings and the operations, they can't understand these things. They don't want to. They think, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Go to Job chapter 1. Let's just get 1 and 6. After Nehemiah. Job chapter 6. After Esther, I should say. Nehemiah, Esther, Job 1 and 6.
You want to start at 1?
Just start at 1, get 6 and 7.
This is the book of Job, chapter 6 and verse 1. But Job answered and said, Oh, that my grief were thoroughly weighed, and my calamity laid in the balance together. For now it would be...
Job 1, verse 6.
Oh, 1? I'm at 6. Oh, my bad. So Job 1, verse 6. Okay, this is the book of Job, chapter 1 and verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Remember, your adversary is like a roaring lion, seeking who he will devour. When you go to 2 Peter chapter 4, 1 Peter chapter 4. Now, there was a time when he was able to do this, right? I don't know, some of you remember we brought this out before. And think about every time you go to these Marvel, DC comics, all these their major movie projects that bring in so much, there's always got to do with them going into the heavens, right? Always about the heavens, no matter the different story, the different name, the different Transformer it is, X-Men, that, you're always dealing with the heavens, no matter what. They always dealing with the heavens. Get that heavens in the Strongs. I think it's the next one. Yeah, that one. Shemaiah. Yeah, people.
Strong's Heavens, 8064, Shemayim.
Shemayim. That means heaven, right? Shemayim. Shemayim.
Astrologers, compass, earth, heaven, heaven and the bright and the highest, heaven and the highest heavens, heaven of heavens, heavenly, heavens, heavens and the highest, highest heaven.
Go to the next one.
Duel of an unusual singular sham, from an unused root, meaning to be lofty, the sky as a loft, the dual purpose alluding to the visible arc in which the clouds move, as well as the higher, either where the celestial bodies resolve.
So the celestial bodies revolve. The celestial bodies. So there's certain celestial bodies. Remember what's that? I can't use my voice, but you know the what's that old X-Files? You know, I talking about the terrestrial and all that stuff. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15, because the leaders of this earth are not that smart to put this all together. And I'm not going to just act like, okay, where I was at in the truth, it wasn't that deep. I didn't know that it was that much wickedness behind the rule of this earth. But once you get the truth, it makes sense. Like, yeah, man can't just do this to the world like that. This is top-notch sorcery. This is top-notch programming. When the people can, all of a sudden, you had to go in your house, lose your business, your daycare was closed, you had to watch your kids lose out, and they say, fix it, you gotta take the juice, and now it's like, well, what happened to it? Where was the ambulance? Where's the bodies? Like, that's high-level sorcery. Why? Why, family? Because you just said in 1 Corinthians, what? You don't got the spirit of the world. You don't got the spirit of the world. Let's go 15 and where I have one? 39.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 39. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of men, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial, but the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
So it just told you, right? Celestial beings coming in and out of earth. That's why, look, they can't have access. We know that. The Lord of hosts, no, you don't have no access. Anybody know why they don't, when they stopped having access?
When Christ went down and took the keys from hell.
Khan, he had that ultimate sacrifice, right? Finish reading.
There is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. For one star different from another star in glory.
And we see that when you just go outside at night, right? You see, man, that's a big one right there. Finish reading.
So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption.
Why? Because that flesh, you see in the casket, and people kind of just shrink up like a prune. It's just flesh. It's going back to dirt. But what's inside? What's inside? What was his spirit like? What was her spirit like? What was that spirit like? What did they leave behind? A lot of destruction, or a lot of love, or a lot of truth, or a lot of the Most High? Or did they change, right? All that corruption from the spirit of this world. So the Lord of hosts, if you're going to partake in his kingdom, you got to be changed. Finish reading.
It is shown in dishonor. It is raised in glory.
Sown in dishonor, it will be raised in glory.
It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power.
Just raised in power. Raised in power.
It is sown a natural body. It is raised a spiritual body. There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body. And so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Let's jump it around. Let's jump it down to 50.
Verse 50. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed.
Mm-hmm.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality.
Uh-huh.
So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Think about the glory that a lot of people are in just on the gram. Like, man, that's the best they got. That's the best they gonna ever have. Think about the glory you're gonna have when the Most High give you what's to come. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best they got. That's just the best a lot of people got right there. It's the best they got, what they showing off. And you just humbled it down, you changed your ways, you like, man, I can't go like that. I'm trying to operate right. I'm trying to represent the Most High. Everything the Most High bring forth, it's like chest on a whole nother level. It's like he got the answer for everything. Finish reading.
O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
So the strength, you get strengthened up when you're doing this law. People just don't understand it. You got a different glow about you. So think about it. Think about how the Lord of hosts and his angels is shining, right? Let's finish reading.
But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Yeshua Christ.
Now let's get more on that. Let's get Matthew chapter 4. Does Lucy know too? Oh, Lucifer know too, right? Let's get started at let's get chapter 4, let's start at verse 1.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 4 and verse 1. Then was Yeshua led up of the Spirit unto the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, If thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread.
Mm-hmm.
And he answered and said, It is written, Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High.
So we're gonna go into it, but remember in 1 Kings, or was that 2 Kings chapter 6, when that army, those hosts were there. Let's see if Satan know about that too. Let's keep it going.
Then the devil taketh him up unto the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning these.
So he know, man. Look, he know that it's angels that's here. He know. You think he don't know?
And in their hands they shall bear thee up. These at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
So he even know about the being. He even knows about the workings of the Lord of hosts, right? Let's go Matthew 17. So verse 1.
Book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 1. And after 6 days, Yeshua taketh Peter, James, and John his brother, and bringeth them up unto a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Yeshua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias.
So the Most High sent through this earth what he want, right? They say, what's that? But even the angels, they don't got no power. Go to Jude chapter 1. Or it's only one chapter. Go to the book of Jude. Let's get verse 9. You see, look. Moses. Wait, hold on. Moses. But Satan's trying to do what? He's the biggest hater. He's the biggest hater. Bring that up.
The book of Jude, chapter 1 and verse 8.
Let's start at 9.
Verse 9. Yet Michael, the archangel, when contending with the devil, he disputed about the body of Moses.
Let me get that one. He was sinning. Remember Moses didn't give you credit afterward? No, I told Moses he gonna be gathered to his fathers. He did some righteous. So the Most High, you know, we do be in fear of the Most High. You want to keep the law, statutes, commandments, but he got you. He know what you're really dealing with. So he know, Moses is still one of mine. Don't get it twisted, right? Finish reading.
Durance not being against him a railing accusation.
Remember, like he tried to accuse Job. So he's always trying to look. Some people he don't got to worry about accusing. Oh, he want the ones that's really trying to do the works of the Most High. Other people like, I already got that. They already got the spirit of the world. But these other ones, man, they hard to get. It's like fishing. You like, man, I gotta reel this fish in. I need some different type of bait. I ain't using the right bait. This stuff not working for them. You know? Go to Revelation chapter 12. I need new bait. They're waking up. TV and work. Fraternities and work. Now the money. They don't even want the money. Dang, they don't want the money. Let's start at where we want to start. Let's start at verse 3.
Book of Revelations, chapter 12 and verse 3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head.
Mm-hmm.
And his tail drew the 3rd part of the stars of heaven.
So, remember, old Lucy got people on his side. That's why the Most High don't want you doing this. Go Daniel chapter, not Daniel, Deuteronomy 17, let's get verse 3. It's for your own good. A lot of people got the spirit of the world, so think about how far you get when you indulging in the practices of the idols, or just you want to believe in this world, or loving yourself, and the Egypt, I'm just black, and you just removing yourself further and further away. You driving miles and miles and miles and miles away from the Most High. You digging your head, you putting your head just all the way in the dirt. Anytime someone try to say you, they just removing themselves from the Most High. But look, if you belong to Him, then you His. If you belong to Him, then you His. Meaning, that don't mean, oh, I can do whatever, and it's no. You gonna find your way back home before you clock out. If you belong to Him. Yeah, you just don't belong to Him. And then people get mad. Well, what does that mean? Oh, so you do kind of believe. You just don't belong. It's just not for you. Maybe you just want to serve that God. Well, it's the same God. Look, we not fearing what y'all dealing with, so why you fear a little bit of what's over here? Your spirit know that this is where the real is, right? Where we at?
Deuteronomy 17 and 3.
Con, bring that out.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 17 and verse 3. And hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the hosts of heaven, which I have not commanded. And it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquire diligently, and behold it be true.
So you going out there, oh, you want to go deal with the sun, moon, stars, and you want to worship the idols? You want to worship the fallen host?
And the thing certain that which abomination is wrought in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die.
Because you want to go and worship the host of heaven. Get Daniel 2 and 10. Lord, the host is things, it's spirits behind a lot of things, right? It's spirits moving, get the spirit of the Most High, so you could be strengthened up. You know what's even deep? I gotta share. I'm watching the Showtime after that Crawford and Spence fight. And, I'm showing someone how listen, I'm not saying that this is why brother lost. I'm just saying what the spirit reveals sometimes, right? You see his trainer, Spence trainer, was talking about Buddha this and Buddha that, and then they went and then they showed Crawford in his hotel room, and what he got? He got that sword right there. So he dealing with the Most High God, right? He reading His word. So, and look how strong he was looking up in there, warrior ready, right? So, I think all the time you want to be on the hands of the Most High. Just gotta share that. But going into Daniel chapter 2, verse 10.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 10. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matters. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that acts such things at any magician or astrologer or Chaldean.
Look, the astrologers, right? So we're going to go into that. Staying away from astrology. You don't want to be dealing with the other spirits. This astrology in Zondervan. It says, astrologer, translates uniformly enchanter, but has astrologer for in the KJV as soothsayer. It is difficult to distinguish the various sorts of practicers of magical arts. Seeking information from the stars was widely practiced from earlier times, but with all other forms of superstition was forbidden to the chosen people who were to seek the Lord their God directly. So we're supposed to seek the Lord our God directly. You want to be a chosen people, you want to be a king and queen, the only way is to deal with this. You can't just say you black and you want to deal with the other spirits in the world that they've given us, or you have to deal with the Most High God. You want to be chosen? You want the kingdom? People only want to call you when they're out there dealing with people that if they at the Easter party and they want to tell their Christian uncle that he just don't got his knowledge up, but he might come on in, but you just want to show him how much he don't know, because you not dealing with it, but you don't want no one else dealing with him either. How wicked is that? Why don't you come on in? Then you could have the knowledge to give them, but we just here to help our brothers and sisters that want the knowledge. We here to love on our people. We here to help people. We here to spread the good news, the gospel of the Most High God. We here to just do right by each other and do the will of the Most High. Period. Right, family? That's why you here every week. That's why you studied up. That's why you living your life the way you do. You get your battery charged up. When you come to Shabbat, your battery should be charged. When you read the word, your battery should be charged. But it's always that opportunity to get your faith strengthened up, right? You going through something. Just know that he want to supercharge me now. He want to supercharge me now. He want me on another level now. Some people can't pass level 1. Some can't pass level 2. That's why he say what? Be thou faithful until what? Until what, family? To the end, to the death, right? So, any questions? Well, I want to just thank the Most High, by Hashem Yeshaya, Warawat.